today we're going to be fitting the new Direnza stainless steel catback exhaust system. It's going to be replacing the original system here, which is just under a 2.5 inch bore for these tips, which the new ones have 3 inch tips and a 2.5 inch bore for the main bit of pipe. The main difference with the Direnza exhaust compared to the stock exhaust is one section here is pretty much a straight pipe. You can see straight through, and only one goes through the back box section. Compared to the old one, if you see under here, they both go through the box section, which takes away a lot of the noise and a lot of the pops and bangs. So hopefully with this new one we'll be getting a lot.
Right, sport mode. I'm going to talk you through the tools we'll need for today's job. We've got a 1/2 inch drive ratchet. We need plenty of lube to crack those tough bolts. We've got a Torx T45 bit, which looks like that. We need an 18mm socket, a 13mm socket. We've got a long jemmy bar here just to remove some sections of the pipe. We need a heavy hammer just in case we need that bad boy. And we're going to use an electric impact gun here just for a bit of speed. Don't worry, you will get away with the hand ratchet here.
The only clamp on this entire exhaust system comes from the cat down pipe. We're going to use this 13 that we mentioned earlier to remove it. Right, we're going to be working from the front of the car back, so the next section is removing these 3 bolts at either side of this cross member here. This is where the Torx T45 comes in. So we're going to crack them all, just like this, and then we're going to loosen them off with the battery impact gun that you saw earlier. Just a little side note here, we've marked this crossbar here with white paint, here, along here and here, just so when we put it back on, it goes on exactly the same way it came out of the factory, just to add a bit of professionalism to it. The next section that we're going to do is this smaller crossbar here. These are 2 18mm bolts. We've marked the, with paint again, just to mimic the factory finish. However, this particular crossbar can only go in one way. Marked it anyway, just so when we put in our bolts we can match the original fitting, just so it is exactly how it came out. Right, the next section what we're going to do is remove the rubber mountings. There's one here and one up the back. We're going to use a smaller pinch bar than the one shown earlier. So we'll just in, just like that. Try not to knock yourself out. Right, watch out guys. When you remove this second rubber mounting that we mentioned, the exhaust will just fall down. Okay, and it's really, really heavy. So once you've got it and you've got it in a good position that you can hold it, it's just a case of wiggling it off so the section at the cat will slip off. Make sure you got someone else at the cat to hold it, because if it drops, it can put stress on bolts and damage things. So I'll talk you through the original one here. So this is the section that is connected to the cat downpipe. So you'd have your cat here that goes down into your resonator box. This is quite a large box in this one. The new Direnza one is half the size and you can see straight through it. I don't see much point in it, but perhaps delete some of the drone. You've got standard pipe all the way through into an absolutely massive back box. If you look at the Direnza one, it's half the size and only one section of pipe goes into it. This pipe here is straight through. You can see from one end to the other, no restrictions there. The new tips on the Direnza system are 3-inch tips compared to the old ones, which are 2.5. So looks way better. And these ones are, on the standard ones, are rounded in, and on these ones it's just a bit more standard and flush looking.
Right, sorry guys, we've actually had to stop the fitting process here because we've just had so many issues with it. None of the fittings seem to match up. All of the pipe bores seem to be the exact same diameter, and they're meant to be slide over fittings, so all that meant was a whole heap of blowtorching, a whole heap of stretching, rolling, and some really haphazard garage kind of stuff. So we've actually just stopped. We've fitted everything up after loads of hammer hits, blowtorch blows and all that sort of good stuff, and we're going to head underneath the car and we're going to show you just how everything looks. So thanks guys. So this is the main issue we had. This is meant to be a slip over fitment as well. However, what we've noticed is that this resonator section of pipe here has the exact same diameter of bore as this big piece of flexy nonsense here. And all that meant was that it didn't slip over, it didn't fit. We had to blowtorch this, and I've got a couple of clips of that. And we ended up doing a really haphazard kind of move, and we found a round metal ring and hammered it through the heated piece of metal here to kind of stretch it, and we kind of created this heated lip that you can see here. So we're actually not going to recommend this Direnza exhaust kit here for a driveway fit. We think it's a little bit too much work. The results are awesome, the exhaust is really cool, but the actual fitting process was a blimmin' nightmare. So you can see it going back there. This section here was also a slip-on fitment, and again it was the exact same diameter, and there was no step up for bore, so we couldn't actually slip that over again. So that was a heap more haphazard stuff, a heap more blowtorch and a heap more hammering. So it wasn't a very viewer friendly process. We've just fitted everything up now, so we'll go out for a wee drive and we'll show you the pops and the bangs. It's definitely worth it once fitted, but fitting it, never again please. One recommendation we might make is if you were to keep this original silencer part here, the silencer box, and what we would say is offer the Direnza part up to this, see where it lines up to. We would actually recommend a slash cut. Don't bother welding it. What we might say is an exhaust clamp sleeve. We've fitted loads of Direnza parts before and they're normally perfect fitment, but what we found is that the interior diameter of this stretch of pipe here just could have been rolled a couple of mils more. So if you've got an exhaust roller, you could put your exhaust pipe roller in here and you could roll this out. A couple of mils would make it a dawdle. So that's one thing we might say. So we've just got a wee interior shot here to show you what the exhaust's like for us in the cabin. It's definitely a little bit louder. It's not hugely loud. The pops and bangs are a lot louder on the inside, and as a nice added bonus, we're getting a lot more turbo compressor surge, which is a really cool feature. We'll see if we can give you one of them now. There's one or two wee reverb zones. We'll see if we can find one of them now for you. If we just creep up the rev slowly, and we'll see if we can pick it up. It's more on deceleration, but honestly it's not that bad at all. We've had much worse aftermarket exhaust kits. We're pretty happy, so we're going to continue and go for a wee drive, and we'll show you some exterior shots and hopefully get as many of those pops and bangs in for you, because let's be honest, why else do you buy a Cooper S?